Hello and welcome to Inside the Big 12. I am thrilled to have you with me. I'm your host, Morgan Uber, and this is a new weekly show where I'll be giving you an inside look at a variety of Big 12 programs across all 10 of our Big 12 schools. In this show, I'll have guest interviews ranging from student athletes to analysts to coaches. And this week, we begin with a head coach that will be coming up later in the show. First, we turn our attention to college football. While the season may be over, the off-season news is just starting to heat up. Two of the Big 12's top offensive threats announced they will be back for the 2020 season. On Monday afternoon, the nation's leading rusher, Chuba Hubbard, shared this video on his social media. After 2,000 plus rushing yards in 2019, the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year will return to the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Hubbard's success on the field gave him celebrity status in his home country of Canada, so you may know him as the Canadian Cowboy. That was the nickname that he earned this season. Hubbard's announcement came after wide receiver Tylan Wallace announced he'd return in the fall after missing the final 5 games of the season due to a torn ACL. For Texas, quarterback Sam Ehlinger is set to write his 4th chapter for the Longhorns. The senior announced he would be coming back 1 week after a dominant performance in the Alamo Bowl over number 11 Utah. The Longhorns finished the 2019 season number 2 in total offense in the Big 12. On the other hand, 1 week after former Baylor head coach Matt Rule announced he was headed to the NFL taking a head coaching job, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year James Lynch followed suit with this announcement on Twitter. Quote, "After much prayer and discussing my future with my family and coaches, I have decided it is time to go chase my next dream, and that is playing in the National Football League." Lynch was a dominant force on Baylor's D-line, leading the conference with 13.5 sacks. Sticking with this theme of big announcements happening on social media, it's time for our social spotlight. The 16-year wait is over. The legendary Oklahoma basketball mascot, Top Dog, has made its return for good. Top Dog was a mascot unique to Oklahoma basketball from 1982 to 2005. To put things into perspective of just how significant this mascot was, former OU coach Billy Tubbs said Top Dog was, quote, "a member of our team and a staple of the program." Since January 6th, different Oklahoma athletics Twitter accounts have been giving clues to the mascot's return, following with some blurred photos hanging out watching practice. Top Dog officially finally came out of retirement, and fans got their very first look at the new and improved mascot during the Super Tuesday game against Kansas. Sooner fans, I'd love to hear your favorite Top Dog moment of last night, or maybe you were there in the 80s or 90s and have a favorite memory to share. However, wherever you're watching, comment below. I would love to hear it. We stay in Norman now as we shift our gears to softball. The preseason poll for the 2020 season is out, and for the 4th consecutive year, the Oklahoma Sooners are the unanimous favorite in the conference. Patty Gasso has molded the Sooners into a national power, 4 national championships and 16 Big 12 titles. I now have the pleasure to welcome the head coach for the Oklahoma Sooners into the studio. Coach, 8 consecutive years you've been voted number 1 in the preseason poll, where every year and every team is different. What is the strength of this group?
I think we have enough returners back. Our pitching staff's going to be strong. Got some big hitters in Jocelyn Allo, Grace Green. Certainly missing some big-time names that have been with us in the past, but I'm excited for this group. They're very athletic. We have enough returners that can, kind of give us a consistency that we've had over the past few years, but we do have some really outstanding freshman athletes.
One of those former players, Shay Knighton, she earned the nickname Big Play Shay for coming up in pressure situations in big moments. She's now a student assistant coach for you. Who's she coaching up to take over her approach at the plate?
I have her coaching up everybody. She's got one of the most calm, focused approaches that I've seen in a hitter here at OU in a long, long time. And if we can emulate that, she loves the big moments. Not only Shay Knighton, but I have Sue Romero, Fale Abu. I've got Paige Parker back. So with us having relatively a lot of new players on the roster, They are really diving in with these guys and kind of teaching them the OU way and the OU style. It's really helping me a lot. But these are going to be some really outstanding future coaches in college softball. So I like to see them coaching, and I like to see them teaching, and they're doing a great job.
You have just 3 seniors on this team, and only one of those was part of the 2017 National Championship. That's Nicole Mendez. She is out due to her torn ACL. However, how have you seen her being able to contribute in other ways?
We have had a tie, so we have 2 captains this season, and Nicole is one of them. She is kind of the inspiration of this team, and she has had a phenomenal attitude and approach in her rehab with her knee, and staying very engaged and very active and very upbeat. And it's been a tough deal for her, especially as it happened going into her senior year, but she's an inspiration to this team, and we expect her to be back sooner than later.
What is her timetable for return?
With her legs were so ridiculously strong in the first place, and I think that might cut off more than a few weeks to her return. So we're hoping for maybe mid-February at the earliest, and maybe if not, somewhere into early March. So I expect her to be ready for Big 12 conference play.
Another senior, Giselle Juarez, she transferred in last year, earned the Big 12 Pitcher of the Year honor. She's really talked about this concept of pitching free. How have you seen that contribute to her success?
I've seen her grow so much, and we haven't even had her for a full year. About this time last year is when she joined our program. So there are a lot of things for her to continue to learn, and I think what's very valuable is experience. And the way she finished at the College World Series was not her, and I know it bothers her, and I know it fuels her. So I am anticipating that when she gets that opportunity, she's going to be a little more ready, prepared, had been through some hard times with the national championship game. Not taking anything away from UCLA because they earned it, but Giselle needs to be that lion. She needs to be that warrior that is unfazed by anything.
We've highlighted some of those upperclassmen, but this is really a youthful roster. You have 8 freshmen on this team. Who's impressing you right now?
There's more than a few. We do have a big-time transfer from Auburn, named Talon Snow, who will be working over at second base. And I recruited her when she was very young. So this is kind of a dream for me to have her finally, better late than never, I guess, with the Sooners. So I think she's going to make a big impact for us. But I really have liked Riley Boone, a freshman out of Tulsa, tremendous athlete that will probably be locking down center field for us. Kenzi Hansen, a big-time catcher, hitter from California, will be doing some work behind the plate and at first base. Mackenzie Donahue is kind of that journey woman that can kind of fit in anywhere we need her. Alicia Flores is a big, strong hitter. I mean, we've got 2 pitchers that are going to make impact for us, and Olivia Raines and Macy McAdoo. So we're excited. This is new blood, but they're really good. And it's going to be fun to feel like I get to coach again, because when you have a team that's so versed in what they're doing, you just kind of sit back and watch like everybody else. But we've really had to coach quite a bit this fall, and I'm anxious to see what it looks like.
Thank you, Coach Gasso, for your time. The Sooners will begin their season in sunny Puerto Vallarta on February 6th. You can see the entire softball schedule on Big12Sports.com, as well as all of the information on the preseason poll to get you up to speed before the season begins. We'll have much more content for you later on this week, including a preview of a big women's basketball matchup, number 17 West Virginia taking on number 2 Baylor this weekend. Look out for that preview on Friday. That's all for now in this edition of Inside the Big 12. I appreciate you joining me today. If you like what you saw, Give it a like on social media. More importantly, comment below what you would be interested in seeing in future episodes of Inside the Big 12. I appreciate you joining me today, and I will see you right back here next week.